What up, my dude? So I got the best track in the official Monster Energy Supercross game. Now, we are completely excluding all of the online custom tracks. I'm talking about just the standard stock original Supercross tracks in this game. And obviously you got Daytona in there, which is a crazy kind of different thing when you compare it to all the other tracks. So obviously it's going to be considered really cool in the game because it's pretty much the only motocross track in the game besides the compound DLC that they have in there now. So when you talk about just the Supercross tracks, that's kind of what I'm trying to get at here. This Arlington Supercross track in this game, I feel like is the best Supercross track. So I've actually been to this exact stadium in real life back when Villapoto was passing on Pronto, if you know what I'm saying. Villapoto won both of the real life races that I went to by like a long shot. I'm talking pulled the whole shot, won those races. It's just kind of how that happened to go there. But yeah, this is a bit different of a track look than the track that I was seeing when I was there in real life. Track I was seeing was more like your standard, more hard packy style, not so much like this red clay look that this seems to have here. I can't remember right off the top of my head exactly what the 2018 Arlington real life track looked like, or I mean, I guess technically 17 because that's what this is trying to replicate. Even though this game came out in 2018, it's replicating the 17 track. So I don't know. This track definitely seems to have quite a bit of a more Atlanta kind of vibe to it, more almost to the like wet muddy point. More way more to that like brownie mix looking red clay ish type of dirt more than it is that hard pack dry Texas style kind of dirt that you'll see in Arlington, Dallas, those styles of tracks there. So but yeah, I mean, the reason why I feel like this is the best track in this game is just honestly straight up is because of the jumps. It really feels like it's one of those tracks where the jumps seem to be more up to par from what I felt like every track should have been. I think this game could have went without having the tracks like the whatever that round 2 was that San Diego or something like that? The one I said was the worst track ever in this game. Having those mellowed off jump faces where it felt like you're on a local vibe motocross track. You're jumping like literally like 3 foot high in the air on a supercross track on every single jump, like even the rhythm section jumps and stuff. It's ridiculous. But this track right here, this is more of what I wanted to see in the game. You know what I'm saying? This right here where it feels like you got to time that out a little bit, that rhythm section there, and then you come around this corner. You can't just like, okay, can I do this in the time trial? It's going to screw me right here. When I come back around, I'll show you guys. But in that, coming out of that corner right there, if you just hit that wide open, like you're just going to jump up over and hit like a really weird rhythm. It's like you actually got to think a little bit on this track when you're coming off the jump faces, whereas a lot of the tracks in this game, you're just hitting everything completely blind, It's like you're not even having to think about it. You're just on the gas and hitting jumps, and that's just not what Supercross is. Supercross is more of a technical thing. Motocross is the thing. Even though motocross is technical as hell, it's more of a just wide open, just balls to the wall kind of style. Whereas Supercross, it's more of the meticulous thinker's game. You got to be really smart, really precise, and this track seems to bring that out, bring the true Supercross feeling out of the game more than any other track in the game. And this right here, if you jump over that and you triple, and you land right here, then you're going to totally mess up that main triple. Then you're not going to hit this rhythm right here good at all. And I just feel like the peakness of the jumps on this track are more like what I wanted it to be. And that's a big thing with Supercross. It's just the simple peakness of the jump faces, How high are you actually getting in the air off of the jump faces? It's like some of the other tracks in this game just do not seem to actually capture that Supercross feeling. Whereas this track, it's a lot closer to that, in my opinion. So, yeah, I mean, you can totally disagree with me on the thinking this is the best track in the game or whatever, but that's just a personal opinion there, and take it how you will. I know you guys will. So it's It's just one man's opinion on it here, but yeah, I mean, you come out of this little section, that's another section. If you just hit it wide open, seems like you can totally over jump it. And it's a matter of like, let me show you right here. Oh, I spun out just a little bit. I'll try to do that on the next lap. I'll show you guys those two little sections where if you just go into it absolutely wide open from the corner to the jump face, then it's not gonna you're gonna hit like a weird rhythm. You know, you're not gonna get in good rhythm. It's almost like you got to blip the throttle just a little bit on those couple of sections to hit that rhythm right. So you really got to be looking at the jump landings to try to figure out exactly where you're going, which then requires actual timing, which is a big deal in Supercross. You know, you want some jumps to be timing style jumps, then you want other jumps to be where you have to be wide open, perfectly hit that berm and seat bounce to even get over the triple or whatever it is. You know, you got to have that variation in jump design and feeling to really give you the Supercross type of feel to the track. So let me just show you right here. Okay, so if I just sweep around, let's just hit this wide open, then I'll jump over here, and just case off of that like that right there, right? Well, let's go into this next jump. See if I can roll around, hit this thing wide open, starting to get a little bit of ruts. I can triple right here, but then I sort of, like, see how I'm in kind of a bizarre rhythm here now. Wow, that actually worked out a little better than I thought it was going to in that section, where you can, like, you can wheelie tap over, you can wheelie and wheel tap up over that big main triple. I think it's a main triple over there, like right on the face of it, you know, without actually, it's really hard to jump over a main triple face on any motocross game. So I didn't actually think I was going to be able to do that right there, but it worked out a lot better than I thought. But I mean, obviously the whoops could be bigger. That's kind of, you know, with the whole game here. You know, both of these whoop sections, they'd have just been bigger, man. It would have been so much more fun on that. But all right, so see, like this section, you want to time it out, let off just a little bit, so you go right down in that, then you can triple to this, then you double this right here. So let's see. So if you just let off right here, see how you can kind of jump to there, then you hit this main triple type of field. That may be a rhythm triple. See, that's what makes this track right here so cool, differently than a lot of the other tracks. This is obviously a main triple right here, but like some of the, let me just explain it to you like this, okay? Some of the quote-unquote rhythm section triples on this track are the size of main triples on almost all the other tracks in this game. Let that soak in, like season in. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the difference in the scale and the size and the difficulty and all that to it, like I was saying. You know, like a main triple should feel like a main triple. You shouldn't be getting confused on, oh, well, man, that's crazy. That just goes to show you how different this track right here is than all the other tracks that I'm like actually getting confused on if this is a main triple, because it's not. It's just a rhythm section triple, like right up here. This jump coming out of this right here, it feels, compared to all the other tracks, that feels like a main triple, but it's just a rhythm section triple. That's crazy, dude. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's some other little physicky style problems to the game. Physicky, yeah, dude, for sure. There's obviously some of those little problems into the game and that make it just feel different, but it's just a different style of a game, man. That's all there is to it. At the end of the day of it all, it's just different. Very, very different than an MX versus ATV game, like a reflex where, I don't know, it's just so hard to explain that to somebody that really doesn't, they don't get it. They don't understand it. They haven't really put time into reflex. They don't know how fun that game really was and how the skill gap really was in that. In the majority of people that defend this game right here, there's no way that they could understand that, or they wouldn't be saying the things that they say. Like, if they truly understood how reflex on console felt 360 back in the day, because that's exactly what I played back in the day, if they really had that feeling of the almost endless skill gap feeling that game had and how hard it was to just hold the gas down in the corners and all the jumps and the crazy rhythms and stuff you could do in the original reflex, that there's no way they would be defending this game right here as if this was like the best one ever. They just wouldn't be doing it. You know, it's people that just don't understand that. They don't really understand motocross gaming. I don't feel they're not real true motocross gamers. They're more of a weekend warrior on the motocross video games. You know, it's those kind of people that really get down and defend this because it's just a Monster Energy Supercross game, you know, and that's just kind of what it all turned into there. But if you're like a real hardcore motocross gamer, you will understand why Reflex is so much better than this. And it's something that it's almost like you can't even explain it to someone that hasn't played Reflex. It's like it's so hard to even convey that to a person like that. But whoa, gonna launch out of the stadium, dude skis. So I love this right here where you gotta go around that flat corner, jump up. You can actually jump up to that tabletop on off. Then you hit this next corner and you really gotta hook up over that jump. Even though they look really small, like the jumps right there look really small, it's kind of like one of those where you really gotta try hard to hit a big rhythm. Then you hit little tight corner right there and you gotta hit another big rhythm. I love when jumps feel like that. You know, it's like this track just has a nice variation of jumps to it, scaling difficulty-wise. It's like, you know, like this jump right here, like I was saying before, it's like you got to let off just a little bit, and you hit this to there. You could probably quad that and then single. It's probably not faster, though. Then this little section right here, you can jump, double, triple, or do the little tire tap over like I showed you before that I didn't realize I could do it all. Then you double into this corner, right? And then you got your main triple, but then you get to this section and you can't let off like you did in those other sections. You really got to like sweep it wide. I totally messed that up right there, but like that's these two corners right here. Like you can actually mess up these sections, you know, whereas most sections in this game, you're not going to mess them up. Like you're just not going to do it. They're just too easy to even mess up at all. So, yeah, that's why I feel like this is the best track in the official Monster Energy Supercross game. It's the closest thing to what I wanted the tracks to be like. I'm not saying it's perfect. You know, it's you know, with their little physics issues and stuff like that, coming up short on stuff, you just bounce off of it like it's nothing. Whoops are tiny. Little things like that kind of hurt their overall, you know, overall type of feel to it. But I mean, I still, considering everything, I think this is the closest to what I was wanting. Like I'm saying, I'm not saying it's exactly like what I was wanting. I'm just saying it's the closest to what they have in the game like I was wanting. So, yeah, let me see here. Let's see if I can... Oh, like you really got to swing that corner before that, like just perfect to hit that up on that section. That's what Supercross is supposed to feel like. Like, come on in here into this track, okay? Once I get back to that one section, I'll show you guys. Supercross it's just inherently supposed to be difficult. Like that's what it is. I don't know. It'd almost be like having motocross tracks without roughness. Oh wait, let me not even get into that, man. You know, that's kind of like what it is. It's just hard to explain it, you know. But it's like having a Supercross track that's not difficult. It's like you're going against everything that it was supposed to be in the first place. I don't care what kind of video game you're making, arcade, simulator, doesn't matter. It's got to have a certain level of difficulty or it doesn't even feel like a Supercross track. That's what I'm trying to say here. See, like that right there, you really got to stretch that out to hit that triple. That's what I feel like every jump should have felt like in this game, you know, where you really had to stretch it out. You really had to get good in the corners and really think about actually hitting the corner right before you hit the jump right and lean back on the bike and do all that. That's what Supercross is all about. It's not about coming around a corner and just holding the gas down, not giving a fuck where you are in the corner, and then just hitting a jump without having to huck it or lean back or anything, and you just land it perfect. That's just not what it's about. So, yeah, I think this is the best track, closest thing to what I was looking for in it. But either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Be sure and leave that dislike on it. I know some of you guys will. Oh, Spencer, he's still whining about Monster Energy Supercross. He's not just trying to help the motocross gaming community or make the games better or anything. No, he's not just out here giving his own personal opinion just to try to improve the games that we all love. No, he's not doing that. He's just a hater. Yeah, he's just a hater, man.